Hey, welcome inside the Fox Weather ROWI Report. I'm Fox Weather meteorologist Steve Bender. We are in week 15 of NFL football, and we got a whole lot of action coming your way, a lot of active weather too, which could obviously cause some impacts to the game. I'm joined, of course, this week with Ian Oliver. Ian, how you feeling? I feel like, didn't fantasy, isn't it now?
Yep.
Two? Oh, man. Okay, so how'd you do? You had 2 leagues?
2 playoff teams, 1 first round bye, 1 3 seed. I'm ready to compete.
Okay.
It's bittersweet, though. I can't believe that we're into the fantasy football playoffs. It means that the football season's...
It's flying by.
It's almost over.
It's almost over, but we still got juicy topics. We are recording this on a Tuesday, fresh off of the press. It's never too late in life. That's what this theme is about today. Phillip Rivers,
yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Signing to the Indiana Colts.
I just retweeted that.
Oh,
I retweeted the NFL. I said, from diapers to dimes, baby.
Yo,
He's
10
back
kids,
at it.
2 of them married. He's already got a grandkid.
His youngest is, I think, a little less than 2. He has younger kids than you do, Steve.
That's insane. Well, soon to be, because
True.
we're about to drop another one
That's fair.
hot off the press. It's going to be tough to be more brand new than later this month. But yeah, he's got some youngins, and so we're going to
have a grandkid too.
I know.
So
it's incredible.
He'll be the first grandpa in NFL history, and I am so here for it.
I just want to know who made that call. Did they see him at the turkey trot and they were like, hey, Thanksgiving, I saw him just unleashing the cannon again, warming up, greasing it, and then was like, we should probably give this guy a shot. I don't know how. When you see Daniel Jones go down, you're like, Phillip Rivers is our man. But I'm here for it. I love it.
That was awful for Danny Dimes.
Oh, man, that's awful.
I mean, honestly, that sucks. He was having such a resurgent season.
So
good.
Easily.
The only thing that would have been more epic to replace him if the Colts didn't ruin a generational star, take his love for the game of football, and make him not want to be a pro athlete. If Andrew Luck had come back out of retirement, that would have been a perfect way to kind of rewrite how that all ended.
Yeah.
But he's not interested in that.
No.
Hasn't been in a long time.
He's smart. I mean, after watching what happened with Daniel Jones, and Andrew Luck obviously had a lot of injuries, probably like, I don't want to sign back up for this nonsense. So let's dive into it. The first game we're looking at is a bunch of Southern teams battling out Ray J Stadium, Tampa, Florida. And you'll notice, I mean, this was
a big ROWI game last week.
Yeah.
Much better forecast this week, obviously.
Ooh, and they're feeling it. This is looking good. And as your request, we got the records on the screen, and Tampa Bay needs to lock this in. Falcons have been pretty rough this year, and I think for them, I mean, the weather's going to be a non-factor. I think this is great for Baker and the Bucs to lock in another one and solidify their kind of...
they need it. They're coming off a bad loss last week at home to the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect. That's the bottom of their division.
I was going to say,
they needed to win that game, and now all of a sudden the Panthers are the T-Rex in the rearview mirror.
That's crazy. Yeah, so this is a get-right game. Let's talk about some of the games that could be impacted by some storms. You and I on the Fox Weather stream, we carry the afternoon and evening coverage. Truly, if you haven't had a chance to check out the Fox Weather stream, if you like us, you like our chemistry, you like 2 dudes just yelling, well, then come join us. Ian's from 3 to 6. I'm from 6 to 9. We're holding it down. And a big thing we're talking about is this weekend, the big question mark of what's going to happen on the I-95 corridor. Likely to get some action, but Ian, we just can't get enough cold air support for the big cities on I-95 to get any accumulating snow.
Well, we have plenty of cold air.
Yeah.
And there's no moisture.
Just not the time.
Then there's moisture and there's no cold air. The key is to have those 2 things together.
Yeah.
I see this, the most likely scenario. I know that there's varying opinions at this point, and because of the time scale. I feel like this thing may just scream through and we get a quick burst of snow.
That's how I felt. When I'm looking at the updated from 24 hours from what we saw yesterday, we had it locked in on the Fox Weather Forecast Center. Then you start looking at the long-range models today. Yeah, and you don't even see that low really develop. It just blitzed through, so there's no engine.
High.
Yeah. So there's nothing to slow it down, to give it that chance to actually create something. And I think it's just going to be another blustery weekend. It blitzes through, it makes it uncomfortable outside. And we're going to be talking about when do we actually get some measurable snow. That's likely what we're seeing. It's Tuesday, by the way. We're talking about 5 days out. But one thing is for certain, this is going to accompany some very cold air. I mean, look at the upper Midwest. This is downright miserable to be outside. Bismarck, Duluth, Minneapolis. This is all just air temperature. So not even the feels like.
Yeah, that's foul.
Yeah.
2 below in Chicago.
No. I don't even think your car starts at that
12
point.
below in Minneapolis.
Yeah. So you said Chicago, right? So let's take it there. Let's go to Soldier Field where, again, it was competitive against the Packers. That was America's Game of the Week on Fox last week. It was looking good. And then late game, obviously the interception, Caleb wants to have that back. But will they be able to right the ship? I mean, at Cleveland Browns.
He looked good the whole game. They ran that same play.
Yeah.
And it obviously didn't work out the second time. I can't recall, though. We've seen 10.0s on the ROWI scale for precip.
You're right.
You ever recall seeing a 10.0 for temperature?
Nope. You're right. This is the first of the season.
That's the first one? Yep. Dr. ROWI's throwing up the one.
Throwing up the one. Good call. And it's accompanied because of the wind impact. You'll see that's at a medium scale, but truly that's what brings that wind chill factor down as well. So to your point, Ian, I mean, we're looking at single digits, and a lot of people are saying, hey, I bet in single digits, that's just fine. But even the sustained winds at 10 miles an hour, it doesn't seem like a lot. But if you look at that small arrow, it is derived out of the northwest. That's a cold wind. That's going to get it below zero easily for the entire game. And I know you grew up, obviously, up north in the Northeast. Anything in the cold weather, you're stiff, you're uncomfortable. You just can't. And this is a physical game.
I'm now realizing that in the league that I have to play this week, Caleb Williams is my quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now he is.
Okay, so you're gonna make some less. And that's in your third seed. Okay.
So now, well, it was Daniel Jones who was carrying me after Joey Burrow got hurt, and then.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point. That's the reason why we do this ROWI report, because now that we are in the playoffs of fantasy, does this look like a game where you lean more on the run? Because when you're trying to throw the ball, the thing's a rock. You don't get as great of a grip strength, and even for the receivers, it's just difficult. I will say, in the recent weeks that we've had cold weather impacts, I've been impressed with how the athletes have kind of
There's
withstood.
So much tech now.
Yeah.
And I think even more so, I know the conventional wisdom is, the run game, this and that, but do you want to hit somebody when it feels like it's 10 below? You even dink and dunk passing can end up being fruitful.
Big.
So,
yeah. Especially if you lean in on the tight ends, too. Yeah. Tight ends, big bodies. It's like normally you go for the legs.
They got two good ones on the Bears. So.
That's exactly. So that's the thing is maybe you start looking, as you had said, dinking and dunking and allowing the big guys to rumble through, because those safeties, the corners, they're making business decisions. They don't want that noise. Let's talk about the Chargers. They handled business last night in the best way possible. I loved watching the Eagles just flounder on Monday night. And you're looking at this as another temperature impact, and it's important to know this is Arrowhead Stadium, right? So we're looking at the Midwest feeling the temperature impact, maybe not to the extent of what we saw for Chicago, but we're talking about the Chargers, a SoCal team that brags. And if you know anybody from Los Angeles or SoCal, what's the first thing they tell you?
Right. They lived there for a reason.
Yeah, it's the 70s. It's sunny.
Is the Chiefs dynasty over?
I hope so. I really hope so. I think we saw the end of it.
What's up with that? Is that a 6 and 7?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to do it. Don't do it.
Okay. Thank you. I walked right into that. I was even right now, I feel like I needed somebody to hold down my arms.
Yeah. Jared, can you help us out, please?
Yeah.
Please restrain Steve.
Just hold him down. There we go. Thank you, Dr.
That was ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an ugly loss.
Yeah.
I started Pat Mahomes and Rashee Rice in one league.
Yeah.
And that's the league next week I have a bye. And I'm very happy about that because I need to watch this game.
Right.
Not that I can replace Rashee Rice and Pat Mahomes, but I mean, what was that?
I think the biggest thing with that game too is like all season you've heard about their offensive line. Okay, it was the stars that let them down in big moments. So if you are a Chiefs fan though, then there is that slight confidence in knowing that there's a reason why they're stars, and they may have a bad game. And almost you like them all having a bad game at once, get it out of their system. Can they do the rebound? It's just tough to try to make that rebound against the Chargers. The Chargers
I'm just saying,
strong.
if I've been watching some of my guys have stone hands, last thing I want to see is them playing a football game in 18 degrees.
Good call. I see what you're saying. Yeah. There's no hand warmers that are going
to
keep up with that. Temperatures are going to be in the single digits, or potentially, if you look at the wind chill factor, or lower teens throughout all of it. So those are the big games that we're watching weather-wise. As we get into some of the other ones, these have kind of variables. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford. This is Sunday. This all is on what we're looking at, Ian, with that potential system on the I-95 corridor. We address it right now. It looks like it's going to be blitzing through. The timing of this means that likely won't be much of an impact. But I mean, look, we're at temperatures right at freezing. The wind is picking up throughout the game. And so there is the potential gusts 20, maybe 25, and we get bigger temperature impact for two teams that, I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to be watching this. Anyways, I don't even know what they're fighting for at this point.
Division?
Fantasy.
Not that it matters, but pride, we'll see.
I don't know if you want pride. You just want better draft picks at this point. There is no pride at these stadiums right now. And let's talk about this. I honestly was really surprised, Joe Burrow coming back. How much of a difference maker.
I don't know how they lost that game.
I don't know either. But also, to that point, the amount of snow that was on the field. And I remember vividly when Buffalo, they went for it 4th down, they scored the touchdown, and you're like, they're up by 10, there's no way. And Burrow literally throws a bomb to T. Higgins, and T. Higgins is still running like a 4.3. Like, he does not slow down. He's like a snowmobile. I didn't know what was, because we talk about it, and we say, hey, when there's snow, it slows you down, it ruins kind of the traction. And yet T. Higgins looked like he came alive, and Joe Burrow was dropping in the basket.
That was after a trip to the Blue Medical tent. Yeah. He had gotten banged up early in the game, and he's still running like that.
I'll have whatever they gave him in the Blue Medical tent.
The Cincinnati Bengals defense did the New England Patriots a major disservice. So I didn't appreciate that. I don't know how they managed to lose that game. That offense is so good. Yeah. That defense stinks. Yeah. And it must be so frustrating. Yeah. I mean, you put up that amount of points against the Bills, and you still, I mean, what'd they give up in the 4th quarter alone? It had to have been like 17, something.
Yeah, I was going to say 17 to 21 points, I believe it was. Yeah, and to a franchise that, I mean, for a long time, leaned heavy on, before, Burrow there, on their defense. And that defense has kind of faded away, and now you're back with Joe Burrow coming back.
In fairness, though, they paid Joe. They paid Jamar Chase. They paid T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So it's a capped league. Yeah, it's coming from somewhere. So
Baltimore, what do you feel about them? I feel like they've been sneaky. They had a really rough start. Lamar obviously got injured. He's coming back. Now they're almost about to a point where they're going to get even on the season. Is this kind of one of those?
Did you watch that game against the Steelers last week?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
They may or may not have gotten robbed with a call end of the game. Okay. Isaiah Likely, the tight end. Ball gets swatted out on his 3rd step.
Yes.
Tough.
I seen that. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't want to say that was the difference in the game, but when it happened, when that call was made, that was another division matchup that puts them at the risk of saying it again, 6 and 7. Yeah. They gotta win. They gotta win out. They're almost in the same position now. It's not as bad because the division's weaker, but like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs' playoff percentage is like 20%. They got to win their last 4 games.
Which is wild, because if you would think about 2 front runners coming into the season, at least
you would have said that this was maybe the AFC title game.
Yeah.
Bills would have been in the mix. The Patriots over-under before the season was like 5.5 games. They were not expected to be where they're at. I love except this. Maybe by me.
Every week you've mentioned the Patriots over and under on wins, but it's important because it's one of those things that it's impressive to watch, because it wasn't like, okay, they got a hot streak. They've been validated, they've been verified, they've been blitzing through their schedule.
Go to that one. That's the game of the week.
Which one?
There. Forget all this. That is a good game.
This is a good one because we're talking about that atmospheric river out west. They do get a momentary pause after Friday, but then we get back into the weekend and they look at another round. Shout out, by the way, when we're talking about an atmospheric river, it's this pipeline of moisture. We actually have the hurricane hunters. Yep. And I know you've flown with them, which is an incredible experience. They're flying into this bad boy.
Yeah, that was in their regular job into a hurricane.
Side quest right
But
now.
folks don't realize, to your point, these men and women, they're working year-round. Flying into all the worst weather and doing all kinds of important research. So that's what they're doing over on the West Coast.
Yeah, so we're looking at the first half of this game at Lumen Field. That's where it's going to get wet and soggy. We'll be watching this one close for the timing of this. This is where Phillip Rivers, I don't know if he gets elevated all the way. I mean, he's on the practice squad as we're talking right now, but I mean, I think that's the reason why you signed him.
Preposterous.
Yeah, to try to burn. I mean,
who's going to play?
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the reason why you're bringing a 44-year-old, though. It's because it's just instinctual at this point. You don't want him to learn a playbook. He's already probably knows the playbook.
To your point, I guess they didn't sign him to not play him. Yeah. So, I mean, even though it is what it is, Riley Leonard might not be able to play. Phillip Rivers' oldest son, I believe, is about the same age as Riley Leonard. So whatever, throw him out there.
Riley Leonard was in diapers as Phillip Rivers was starting his career, for sure. Hey, here's the game that you were talking about. This is a massive matchup right now. As we start looking at Foxborough, this is going to be 1 p.m. This is that system that we were talking about, what could unfold. And this is, a 1 p.m. kickoff at Gillette Stadium. And so I think there's more of that opportunity. But notice the temperature. I don't know.
So marginal.
Yeah.
I would say, too, it sounds very weather guy hedgy. Of all the ROWIs we talked about, this one is the most subject to change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
By
Big
a significant
variables.
margin.
Oh, 100%.
So this is one to watch if you have fantasy football implications or if you love one of these teams.
Yeah.
Hoping for a snow game.
Has the Patriots played in a big snow game yet this year?
Not this year.
That's
No.
the thing, because that's with Buffalo. You know they got track record. They just did it last week.
Yeah.
You start looking at that for the Patriots. You start wondering, okay, I mean, obviously they're a northern team, so they're used to it, but not in this setup, not with this team. So something to watch. But to your point, this is a game that we're going to be watching closely because there are so many variables that could unfold right now, and it's all about the timing. As we had talked about, that system that's blitzing through is going so fast. If it does not align with the time, it could be a complete nothing burger for them and
that
just a
could be
cold
a dud,
game.
or it could be a awesome
blockbuster
snow game.
Exactly. So when we say we're probably going to do a bonus episode by Friday, that's short range models. That's where you're really starting to do timing and intensity, and we could give you a good indication of what fantasy type of developments you should have by that point in the game, in the week. Let's talk about this game, a low risk of weather impact. I think again the Eagles.
That wind's got to be right on the mark, though, right? Just short of being a medium rowy.
Yeah. And that one's out of the
same
northwest.
Storm cruises through. Yeah, northwest wind. That's gonna feel colder than the freezing mark.
So to your point, if there is a big change to what ends up happening with Foxborough and Gillette Stadium, maybe there's a ripple effect to these other games like we talked about at MetLife, out towards Lincoln State, those, right? And so that's why it's important. Some of these that we're talking about right now that have a low risk of weather impact, they could easily be elevated or vice versa. And why we encourage you to stay locked in. And we're not doing this just because you're like, well, give me an answer. That is the answer. There's a lot of variables right now. You're not going to find something more predictive than what we're already telling you right now, and why you don't want to make any bold moves right now with your lineups, because there's going to be some changes. As we take out to Levi Stadium, this is going to be obviously in Santa Clara, California. Calm conditions there for the 49ers. This is probably the best weather out of the entire week that you could ask for football.
Yeah, Titans coming off a dub against the Browns. That was another game that had a rough ending.
That had a rough one, and Cam Ward maybe had the best ever incompletion when he threw off that guy for that sack. Just totally just threw him to the ground. Yeah, it was like everybody in the comments was like, that dude needs to retire. Like, I don't stop playing football after that. And he throws an incompletion. So, hey, we take a look at this. The Green Bay Packers obviously coming off their big win with the Bears. The Broncos being sneaky good.
Not for ROWI, but for seeding.
For seeding, for everything. I mean, you start looking at your Patriots and the Broncos. These teams are leading right now with 11-2.
Green Bay is right there now in the NFC, too, though. 9-3-1. I think that's tops.
Yeah.
That was courtesy of the win over the Bears, right?
Yep.
Tops in the NFC.
100%. Yeah. So, and then I think they go back to the Bears next week. It's like back-to-back.
Get that goofy one at the end, courtesy of the tie with Jared's Cowboys.
Yeah. What is that? Ugh. Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, they got to catch the Rams. It's all the Packers.
That's like the hook. It's like the hook on a bet. That's going to determine tie is going to determine the top seed in the NFC, which is crazy.
Which is we take a look now. We get down into Jacksonville. Okay, maybe this is the best weather of the week. We look at the Jets that are still struggling and everything. We have the Jaguars, which have been steady 9-4, and actually this is definitely the best weather. Yeah, I would love it. Low to mid 70s. When you're looking at the rest of the country and you're seeing the schedule, big wind games, temperatures potentially near zero, snow on the board, and then you get this. I mean, how much better this game is now?
That's a thought. That's a nice trip south for the Jets.
Yeah.
Regardless of.
Could you imagine if you inverse this and you were at MetLife instead? How miserable it's like.
No, and for the Jags too, though. To be fair, that just like we talked about at Raymond James, they're coming off a rain game last weekend, so this will be nice to return to dry conditions and quietly. The Jags are nice.
Yeah.
9-4.
Oh, yeah. No,
quietly.
and I think they want to do that. Just kind of ride under the radar right now. I haven't heard a lot. I mean, early in the season, you heard a lot about the Jags. Like, oh, wow, they're showing up. And now they're kind of sneaking in under the radar. We're going to bring it all the way out to Acrisure Stadium. This is in Pittsburgh. But look at this. This is Monday. 6 days out. Very large window. A lot can change here. But I think this just shows us that Clipper pattern that we have seen, the jet stream kind of flatlining over the Great Lakes into the Northeast, gives them the opportunity of cold temperatures, the Arctic blast, and maybe wind that could play a factor in all of this. Just another cold weather game for the Dolphins that struggle in that type of environment.
Yeah, but the Dolphins also quietly have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs. So
Oh, no, not again. No.
here we go. I mean, that was so ugly early in the season.
Yeah.
Their start to the season was an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And somehow they're
turned it
this
around.
game away from 500.
Here's the thing, though. I saw Tua early in the season wear a parka for a game that had temperatures in the 50s.
Not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is in the teens, likely going to have this, it feels like temperature, maybe in the single digits. I don't feel confident, and I'm a Dolphins fan. So, but maybe we'll see. I think the Steelers obviously need to get that win too. So they're going to be coming in obviously hot, trying to secure that. Any final thoughts for you? I mean, I know with fantasy, you're locked in. I don't have fantasy football this year. So with that, no, not giving away any of your secrets, but looking at overall, some key notes for this week.
The one I'm curious about is what we said. Chicago. I honestly that's going to be game time. I'm gonna want to watch and see what it looks like.
Gotcha.
Similar, just like the other day, it's like Amon-Ra St. Brown coming off that ankle. I was like, "There's no way." He's on my team. I watched the injury happen on Thanksgiving. Don't want to say it ruined Thanksgiving. But then the next week you're watching him and you're like, wow, like what did he do? What treatment did he get? Because he looks great.
Right.
And then he had an excellent game. So I'm going to want to get eyeballs on everything happening
100%.
in the early part of that game. Because it's not just, it's going to be, that's super cold. This is into the teeth of ROWI season, the risk of weather impact. This is like an embarrassment of riches for ROWI impacts this week.
100%.
In the temperature realm.
And the temperature realm, even in the wind realm, I think it plays a factor. And I think why later in the week, we're going to do our bonus episode on Friday.
Pray for a snow game.
Yeah, pray for a snow game. We will dive into not only this, but potentially the betting angles on this, because I feel like that's something right now it's not even fair to kind of jump into because there's so many variables.
I should apologize for putting you on notice.
No, you shouldn't.
No,
if you didn't check that out, I got called out for the Benders best bets that turned into Benders bad beats. I will say this: early in the season, I was locked in with Gerard, and I was doing some good betting, and I tripled, quadrupled up, and I pulled back. I haven't bet since the fifth and sixth week. Yeah, I just been staying with that. I was like, look, this makes up for last season. I'm holding up, but this is the type of week that I'm licking my chops. I'm like, I think there's some spots to maybe earn some coin. So
Steve's feeling gambly. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Take it easy now. All right. So, okay. Thank you all for joining us for the pod. We're obviously, we're going to be tomorrow. We got nothing, right? Because college.
Army Navy if you want.
We could do Army Navy. We're going to take a pause. We're going to give everybody at home a break. Friday, we'll come at you with a bonus episode. Until then, though, come check out the Fox Weather stream. I'm telling you, Ian and I hold it down. We talk a bunch of weather, but we apply it to life. I'm really excited, Ian, because we talk football and stuff, but you're a big skier, same with me, and you've had great guests on. And I think for a lot of people, if you haven't been paying attention, it's been a great start to the season for that in the outdoors.
Yeah, eastern part of the country, it's kind of backwards this year, and the East needs that. From the Appalachians, Green Mountains, White Mountains, Adirondacks. They had a big November. Better December so far, this pattern doesn't really show any signs of changing in the short term.
And the cold air support allows the snow machines to just keep cranking, so they're going to be building it up. So again, thank you for joining us for this pod. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, be weather smart. See ya.